actions compound. Day after day, the tiny steps you take add up. It's like pouring water into a jar. Takes a little time, but eventually the jar is full. One of the main reasons people struggle with consistency is because they want to see immediate results. The truth is, progress is often slow and incremental. It's hard to stay motivated when you don't see the fruits of your labor right away, but the magic happens when you commit to consistency, even when the rewards aren't immediately visible. When you're consistent, you build momentum. You push through the discomfort, the boredom, the frustration of not seeing the results right away because you trust the process. Another important aspect of consistency is developing a routine. Humans thrive on routine. The more you build structure into your day, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. When you have clear habits in place, you don't need to rely on motivation to get started. Motivation comes and goes. It's a fleeting emotion. But a routine doesn't depend on how you feel. It's something you do regardless of your mood. When consistency becomes a part of your daily routine, it starts to feel less like a choice and more like an inevitable part of your life. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Even when it gets hard, you develop a sense of self-discipline that extends into every area of your life. You start to believe in your own ability to achieve what you set out to do. This self-belief is essential because without it, consistency becomes much harder. When you lack confidence in yourself, it's easy to quit after a few failed attempts. But when you trust that consistency will lead to results, you become unstoppable. One of the most powerful examples of consistency in action is the process of muscle growth. When you're building strength, you don't see changes overnight. In fact, it may take weeks or months of consistent effort before you notice visible progress. But with every workout, you're breaking down muscle fibers, and with proper recovery, those fibers rebuild stronger. This process happens over and over again, and while it may seem slow, is incredibly effective. The same principle applies to personal development. When you commit to learning and growing each day, you might not see massive changes immediately, but over time, you'll find that you've transformed into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Consistency also helps you avoid burnout. When you try to achieve something through sheer bursts of energy or ambition, you might experience short-term success, but it's hard to sustain that level of intensity. You might push yourself to the limit for a week or a month, but eventually you'll burn out. Consistency, on the other hand, is sustainable. It's about making small improvements every day without overloading yourself. It allows you to maintain a steady pace, ensuring that your efforts are sustainable over the long haul. This approach doesn't just prevent burnout, it makes your journey more enjoyable. You don't have to kill yourself trying to get everything done at once. Instead, you focus on consistent, incremental progress, which keeps you energized and motivated. When you commit to consistency, you also create a sense of accountability. It's easy to make excuses when you're not accountable to anyone, but when you're consistently putting in the work, you start to hold yourself accountable. You no longer have the luxury of procrastination or self-doubt. Consistency forces you to show up even when you don't feel like it. It eliminates the excuse of, I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow becomes a part of your daily routine. In the end, the most powerful thing about consistency is that it works. It's the secret behind all great accomplishments. It's the invisible force that keeps you on track, even when you don't see immediate results. So the next time you feel like giving up or slowing down, remember, consistency is what will get you across the finish line. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and trust that your efforts will pay off in the end. The journey may be long, but the rewards are worth it. Consistency is not merely about repeating the same actions every day. It's about creating an environment where small, positive steps add up to massive change over time. There's an undeniable power in the ability to commit to something on a daily basis, no matter how mundane it might seem in the moment. Consistency is what transforms habits into a way of life, and over time, these habits define who we are. It's in the small moments, the choices we make each day, that the foundation for greatness is laid. When you are making a promise to yourself to show up And this promise isn't just about your work ethic. It's about building character. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented. They are often the ones who don't give up, who keep going when it's hard, and who trust in the process even when results seem far away. The truth is, everyone will face challenges and moments of doubt. The key to success is not avoiding these moments, but continuing to push through them with the same dedication every day. One of the core elements of consistency is recognizing the importance of repetition. This is where many people fall short. They give up too early, thinking their efforts aren't producing results, but they forget that mastery comes from repetition. Take the example of a musician. In the beginning, playing an instrument is challenging, even frustrating. But the more they practice, the more their fingers know where to go, and their mind can focus on the music rather than the mechanics. The process becomes second nature. This kind of muscle memory isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional as well. The more consistently you do something, the more natural it becomes, until you reach a point where effort is no longer required to make it happen. It just happens. Another aspect of consistency is setting achievable goals, ones that are manageable on a daily basis. If your goal is too far-reaching or overwhelming, the temptation to give up or procrastinate becomes strong. But when you break that large goal down into daily tasks, you take away the sense of urgency and pressure. Instead, you create a series of small victories. Each day becomes a step forward, no matter how small. Over time, these steps accumulate into significant progress. It's the same principle as compound interest. Small, consistent investments yield massive returns over time. By setting manageable daily goals, you also keep your focus sharp. It's easy to get distracted by other tasks or by the lure of instant gratification, but consistency requires you to stay focused on what matters most. It forces you to prioritize, to set aside distractions, and to commit to what's important. The world is full of noise and distractions, and it's easy to get caught up in things that don't align with your long-term vision. But consistency teaches you how to filter out the distractions and stay on course. It teaches you how to focus on your purpose. Additionally, consistency leads to better decision making. When you make something a part of your daily routine, it becomes automatic. You no longer have to spend mental energy deciding whether or not to do it. There's no questioning. It just gets done. This eliminates decision fatigue and the endless cycle of overthinking. You've already made the decision to show up, so every day becomes about execution rather than hesitation. However, there's also an important concept to consider when we talk about consistency. Quality matters just as much as quantity. Consistency doesn't mean you have to do more than what's necessary. It's not about filling your days with endless tasks or activities. It's about making the right things a priority. Consistent action doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing the important things well. If you focus on consistent, high-quality actions, the results will far exceed the results of scattered, half-hearted efforts. So, consistency should be coupled with intentionality. Being consistent also helps you build confidence in your abilities. Think about the feeling you get when you accomplish something you've worked on day after day. Whether it's finishing a project, hitting a fitness milestone, or completing a personal challenge, that sense of accomplishment is powerful. It's the result of countless small efforts, none of which felt monumental in the moment, but each of which contributed to a larger, undeniable achievement. Over time, this builds confidence, not just in the process, but in your own ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Another layer to consider when discussing consistency is its impact on your mental and emotional health. The world can feel chaotic, and there are days when the weight of responsibilities or stress can become overwhelming. But having a consistent routine can act as an anchor, something to return to when everything else feels out of control. When you know that you've committed to a set of daily practices, you feel a sense of calm and structure in the midst of uncertainty. This sense of stability can create mental peace, which ultimately allows you to keep moving forward with clarity even on tough days. This This consistency also extends to relationships. In every meaningful relationship, whether personal or professional, consistency is key. Trust is built over time through repeated positive interactions. A single grand gesture or declaration is not what fosters deep relationships. It's the small acts of kindness, the regular check-ins, and the everyday moments that build a bond. The same applies to your relationship with yourself. You build self-trust by being consistent in your actions, and when you trust yourself, you open the door to limitless possibilities. The principle of consistency, therefore, is the backbone of progress. It's not the flashiest or most glamorous element of success, but it is the one that ensures your efforts don't go to waste. It's the unseen force that powers everything from small personal achievements to massive societal changes. It's the consistency that allows us to grow, learn, adapt, and succeed. It's the secret behind mastery and the driving force behind long-term success. The beauty of consistency is that you don't need to wait for motivation to strike. Your daily actions create momentum, and that momentum is what moves mountains. Consistency is not merely the act of repeating tasks each day, but rather the practice of deliberately fostering habits that lead to growth, mastery, and transformation over time. When we think about consistency, it often feels like a daunting concept, like we must commit ourselves to doing everything perfectly every single day. However, consistency isn't about perfection. It's about persistent effort. It's about consistently showing up, even on the days when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate, and even when the journey feels long. When you choose to be consistent, you're choosing to commit to progress, no matter how small that progress may appear at the moment. This idea of small, incremental growth is what makes consistency so powerful. It's not the result of a single heroic effort that leads to success, but the culmination of everyday actions. Think about building a house. Each day you lay down one brick. And while one brick may not seem significant, over time those bricks build something substantial. The house is built one brick at a time, and so is your success. Each day, you are laying the foundation for your future. The key to consistency is to embrace that it's a gradual process. In today's world, we're conditioned to expect instant results. We want quick returns, fast feedback, and immediate gratification. However, that kind of thinking leads to frustration and burnout because it doesn't allow for the long-term, consistent effort that success requires. Consistency is the antidote to impatience. It teaches you the value of delayed gratification, the understanding that the work you do today may not show immediate results, but those results are coming, and they're worth the wait. Moreover, consistency allows you to develop a mindset of resilience. We all face obstacles and challenges that test our determination, but it's the consistent efforts during those tough times that separate those who succeed from those who fall short. Success is not just about talent or intelligence. It's about your ability to persevere and continue taking action even when things aren't going your way. Consistency teaches you to work through difficulties, to push forward when the road gets tough, and to keep taking one step after another even when the destination feels far away. This is where many people falter. They see the obstacles as roadblocks and give up too soon. But those who understand the power of consistency see challenges as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. A key component of consistency is commitment. When you make a decision to be consistent, you are not just promising to show up, you are also committing to a process, to the journey, and to the long-term vision. Commitment creates accountability. It's the invisible force that keeps you on track, even when you'd rather procrastinate or take the easy way out. It ensures that you follow through with the actions you've promised to take, regardless of the circumstances or your mood. And when you commit to consistency, you begin to develop self-discipline, one of the most powerful tools for success. The more you commit to showing up, to doing the work, even on the days when you don't feel like it, the stronger your discipline becomes. Self-discipline is the muscle that gets stronger the more you use it, and over time, it becomes second nature. Consistency also helps in sharpening focus. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of your goals and become sidetracked. However, consistency teaches you to block out the noise and focus on what truly matters. When you're consistently working toward a goal, you begin to align your actions with your values. You don't waste time on things that don't serve your purpose. You learn to prioritize. And this focus isn't just about physical actions, it's about mental clarity. Consistency trains your mind to stay centered on your objectives, not getting swept away by the latest trend or the fleeting excitement of new opportunities that don't align with your long-term goals. You become better at saying no to distractions because you're constantly reminded of your purpose. When you are consistent in your efforts, you also improve your capacity for learning. Every day you commit to taking action, you open the door to new insights and discoveries. Consistency creates a feedback loop. You put in the effort, you observe the results, and you learn from those results. With each action, you get a little bit better. Whether you're learning a new skill, growing in your career, or improving your health, consistency ensures that you continue refining your abilities. Over time, you not only see improvement, but also gain valuable experience and expertise. This cumulative knowledge and expertise is what makes you more effective in your pursuits and more confident in your abilities. One of the greatest gifts of consistency, you can look back and see the incremental changes you've made. It might be hard to see progress in the moment, but when you step back and look at your journey over time, it becomes clear how far you've come. This perspective shift is essential for maintaining motivation, as it reminds you that the work you've been putting in is leading to results. Without consistency, progress would be sporadic and harder to recognize. But with consistent effort, progress becomes undeniable, even on the days when it feels like nothing is changing. Consistency also provides stability and structure in an unpredictable world. Life is full of uncertainties, and external factors can often feel beyond our control. However, consistency creates a framework within which we can operate. It provides a sense of control in an otherwise chaotic environment. When everything around you seems uncertain, having a set of consistent habits allows you to maintain focus, to stay grounded, and to continue forward motion despite the external noise. This structure doesn't only apply to professional goals, but also to personal development. Whether it's your health, relationships, or mindset, consistency brings order to your life, allowing you to maintain balance even in times of stress or uncertainty. When you make consistency a cornerstone of your life, it doesn't just impact your achievements, it strengthens your character, your resilience, and your belief in yourself. It's the process of showing up day after day that shapes you into someone capable of achieving great things. Consistency turns dreams into reality by making the process of progress manageable and sustainable. And as you continue to show up, you begin to realize that the real reward isn't just the goal, it's the person you become along the way. The transformation happens in the small, consistent actions, and over time, these actions accumulate to create extraordinary results. Consistency, at its core, is the bedrock upon which all lasting success is built. It is not the dramatic actions or spontaneous bursts of effort that lead to success, but the steady, repetitive actions that compound over time. Every successful individual has at some point in their journey made the commitment to show up daily. This might be in their work, their health, their relationships, or their personal development. The commitment to consistency is the silent force that propels them forward, even when the path gets tough or when immediate results are not visible. It's about making incremental improvements every single day, no matter how small, and trusting that these efforts will eventually bear fruit. The power of consistency lies in its ability to build momentum. At first, it may feel like you're hardly making any progress. In the early stages of a new goal or habit, the changes can seem insignificant. 1 hour of studying, one workout session, or a single day of healthy eating doesn't make a noticeable difference right away. But consistency isn't about that instant payoff. It's about understanding that small, seemingly insignificant actions, when compounded day after day, add up to something much greater. Just like a snowball rolling down a hill, consistency builds upon itself and gains speed. The more you show up, the easier it becomes, and the greater the results over time. This is where the concept of delayed gratification becomes essential. In a world that thrives on instant rewards and quick fixes, consistency teaches us to be patient. Success rarely happens overnight. Think about the process of planting a seed. At first, it's invisible beneath the soil. There's no sign of growth, no indication that anything is happening, but underneath, the roots are spreading, the plant is growing, and eventually, with time and care, it will break through the surface. Success is much the same. It takes time to develop, but when it does, the results are undeniable. The more you trust in the process, the more willing you are to invest in consistency, even when the results are not immediately visible. Another powerful element of consistency is that it creates a sense of discipline. In the beginning, starting something new or changing a habit can be challenging. It takes effort to push through the initial resistance. However, as you continue to show up, the task becomes less about motivation and more about discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay on course regardless of how you feel. It's about making the right choices even when it's inconvenient. The more consistently you perform an action, the more it becomes ingrained in your routine. Over time, the very act of being consistent strengthens your resolve and builds the mental muscle needed to keep going, no matter the obstacles. A significant part of consistency is understanding the importance of showing up even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is fleeting, it comes in waves, and it's easy to rely on it to get started. But motivation alone will not carry you through the long, hard journey toward your goals. It's discipline, fueled by consistency, that will keep you on track when motivation fades. There will be days when you feel tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed, but it's on those days that your commitment to consistency will see you through. The decision to show up, to do the work regardless of your mood or circumstances, is often what sets successful individuals apart from those who fall short. Consistency also cultivates a deep sense of self-trust. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, whether it's waking up early to work on your goals, sticking to your workout plan, or continuing to study for an exam, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself to follow through. This builds self-confidence because you know that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. The more you practice consistency, the more you prove to yourself that you are someone who honors your commitments. And this trust in yourself can be one of the most empowering aspects of growth. The better you get at being consistent, the more capable you feel in all areas of your life. Consistency also leads to improved decision making. When you commit to consistency, you create a routine, a structure within which decisions are made with clarity. In a world full of distractions and overwhelming options, your focus narrows to what truly matters. You eliminate the decision fatigue that can come from constantly deciding what to do next. It becomes easier to choose actions that align with your long-term goals because your daily habits are reinforcing those choices. As your consistency solidifies your routine, your decisions become more intentional and aligned with your purpose. Moreover, consistency allows you to track progress over time. It's easy to get discouraged if you expect instant results or if you only measure success by grand accomplishments. But when you approach your goals with consistency, you can look back and see how far you've come. Even though progress might feel slow, over time, it becomes undeniable. The key is to track your daily actions and note how they contribute to your larger goals. It's these small daily improvements that lead to massive transformation. With consistency, progress becomes less about achieving perfection and more about continuous growth. The beauty of this process is that every action you take, no matter how small, is a step forward. In addition to this, consistency fosters a mindset of resilience. When you commit to something, you are essentially preparing yourself for setbacks, challenges, and difficult days. However, rather than seeing these challenges as reasons to quit, consistency teaches you to view them as part of the process. Every obstacle is a learning experience, a lesson that sharpens your skills and strengthens your resolve. You begin to understand that setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities to grow. Consistency teaches you to persevere, keep moving forward even when the road is tough, because you know that success doesn't happen without effort. Another essential aspect of consistency is its ability to build momentum. Momentum is a powerful force that can carry you forward even when motivation wanes. When you consistently show up and take action, you begin to create a cycle of progress. Every action you take builds on the previous one, and the more you do, the more momentum you generate. With momentum, things become easier. Tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable, and you find that progress comes more effortlessly. Momentum doesn't just happen by accident. It's a direct result of consistent effort. The more consistently you work on something, the more momentum you create, and that momentum is what drives you towards your goals. Lastly, consistency is not just about achieving success in one area of life. It's a principle that permeates every aspect of our lives. When we commit to consistency, we are not just creating habits for work or personal goals. We are cultivating a mindset that values effort, dedication, and progress. This mindset extends to our health, relationships, personal growth, and professional endeavors. Consistency teaches us how to invest in ourselves, how to keep going when the going gets tough, and how to continuously improve. It creates a foundation of reliability, resilience, and confidence that impacts every decision we make, every action we take, and every goal we pursue. With consistency as our ally, there is no limit to what we can achieve. Consistency is the silent force that propels us forward in every area of our lives. It's not about making big, dramatic changes in a single day, but about showing up each day, no matter how small the steps, and doing the work with dedication and persistence. The most successful individuals are not the ones who experience the quickest wins or the most immediate rewards, but rather those who consistently put in the work, day in and day out, trusting that their efforts will eventually lead to success. This trust in the process is the backbone of consistency. It's the belief that if you continue to show up, even when progress seems slow, the results will come. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is its ability to build momentum. When you begin a new task, whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a fitness goal, or starting a new career project, the first few days or weeks can feel like you're hardly making any progress. It's easy to get discouraged when the results are not immediately visible. However, consistency is what builds the foundation for momentum. Each small action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, contributes to a larger, powerful wave of progress. The more consistent you are, the more you begin to see the cumulative effect of your efforts. Over time, momentum takes over, and the work that once felt difficult or overwhelming becomes easier, more natural, and even enjoyable. It's the snowball effect. Once you start rolling, it becomes harder to stop. This momentum isn't just about achieving tangible results. It's about developing a mindset of persistence. When you consistently show up for your goals, you are strengthening your mental and emotional resilience. Success doesn't come without challenges. In fact, it's the obstacles we face along the way that often teach us the most valuable lessons. When you commit to consistency, you are not only committing to the daily actions that will lead to success, but you are also committing to facing and overcoming those challenges. This builds your resilience and teaches you that setbacks are not roadblocks. They are part of the journey. The ability to stay the course even when things get tough is one of the most important benefits of consistency. It transforms the way you view difficulties and strengthens your belief in your ability to overcome them. Moreover, consistency also teaches the value of patience. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, it's easy to forget that meaningful success takes time. We are often tempted by shortcuts, by fast fixes, and by the allure of immediate results. However, real success, the kind that lasts, is built over time through sustained effort. Consistency reminds us that slow, steady progress is often the most effective path. It teaches us that the results we see are not the result of one grand action, but of a series of small, consistent actions that compound over time. Patience is essential in the pursuit of any long-term goal. And consistency, it's important to remember that it's not just about doing the same thing repeatedly. It's about showing up and giving your best even on the days when you don't feel motivated, when the circumstances are difficult, or when results seem far away. Consistency requires discipline, the ability to stay committed to your goals despite the inevitable challenges that arise. This discipline doesn't come naturally to everyone, but it can be cultivated through consistent effort. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. It's a muscle that grows with use. Every time you choose to stay committed, even when you'd rather quit or take shortcuts, you reinforce your own self-discipline, and this discipline will support you in every area of your life. Another key element of consistency is that it fosters a sense of responsibility. When you commit to a goal, you are not only making a promise to yourself, but also to those around you, whether it's your family, your colleagues, or your friends. Your consistency sets an example and inspires others. People see your commitment to your goals, your follow-through, and your perseverance, and this motivates them to do the same in their own lives. Consistency creates a ripple effect. It doesn't just impact you, it influences everyone around you. This sense of responsibility adds an extra layer of motivation. When you show up consistently, you are not only building your own future, but you are also creating a positive influence on those who are watching. Furthermore, consistency enhances your ability to make decisions. It simplifies the process of decision making by helping you establish routines and habits. The more consistent you are, the fewer decisions you need to make on a daily basis, because many of them are already made for you. For example, if you consistently make time for exercise each morning, you don't have to waste mental energy debating whether or not to work out. It's simply part of your routine. This eliminates decision fatigue, a phenomenon where you become mentally exhausted from making too many decisions throughout the day. With consistency, your habits become automatic, freeing up mental energy for other, more important decisions. Consistency also teaches the value of incremental progress. In a world where we often equate success with big dramatic results, consistency reminds us that small actions add up to something significant over time. It's easy to get discouraged when you focus solely on the end result, but when you focus on taking consistent steps, you'll be surprised at how quickly things begin to fall into place. Every day you make progress, even if it's just a small step, you are one step closer to your goal. The key is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. When you commit to consistent action, you shift your focus from the immediate results to the long-term transformation. This shift in perspective allows you to celebrate the small wins, which adds up to a greater sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Building consistency also has a profound effect on your confidence. When you consistently show up and take action, you reinforce your belief in yourself and your abilities. Every time you make progress, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. This builds self-trust and self-confidence, two critical elements for success. When you know you can rely on yourself to consistently put in the work, you approach new challenges with a sense of certainty. Consistency gives you the confidence to take risks, to push past your comfort zone, and to try new things, because you know that with consistent effort, you can handle whatever comes your way. Additionally, consistency builds clarity. The more consistently you work toward your goals, the more you learn about yourself, your preferences, and your strengths. You begin to understand what works for you and what doesn't. You start to refine your approach and make adjustments along the way, becoming more efficient and effective. The consistent effort you put into a task gives you the opportunity to reflect on your progress, assess your methods, and make improvements. This ongoing